Hello, everyone. Today I'm looking at Immortality. This game, I really took me back. Now, this is essentially a point-and-click game, and again, I would recommend really going into this game with absolutely no idea what's going on, because it's way more engaging and way more interesting that way. And I just started messing around, and what I realized is, okay, there's these old movie clips, of this old actress. And essentially what you're able to do is look through the different interviews of her, different kinds of movies, and you realize that, oh yeah, she's in all of these movies or all these interviews. And what's really cool is that if you look at a fern or a cup or a plant, it will focus in on that object. And when you select it, it will actually take you to another scene with an object that is also a vase or a plant or whatever. So there's some kind of matrix of associated objects that are basically like, okay, if you reference this, we'll reference this at another one. And it'll just play clips. And so again, this is a movie point-and-click game. It's really not anything amazing or interesting. And usually I hate these kind of games where I have to rummage through this person's past or her computer files and find out the story of her life. But going through the movie scenes and movie sets and kind of all these different scenes is actually really, really cool. And so you can do it to people, to objects. And so you have all these old movie things that honestly for a long time I thought were real movies. They looked very convincing, like the audio quality, the way they were shot, the way they were filmed. Like I thought this was a real thing. And like even at the beginning of the game, it gives you, the original clips of Marissa Maravelli's clips have been unaltered from their original production. And so you think, okay, these are a bunch of random movie clips. Some of them are from, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And you see the quality of the film grain and whatever go up. And it's just really, really well done, really well edited, and it totally deceived me. And then you also have these behind the camera scenes, and then you have these interviews, and suddenly there's a story about the story. And what's really interesting is that there are several layers to each story, in the sense that so you have the movie and you have the story of the movie that's taking place, and again they're in these small 1 minute clips. But then you have the story about the actress and what she was going through between each movie, and then you have even the meta narrative, which is even more insane, where essentially, and it was really more insane for me because this is something you see in the cheesy movies or whatever, but when you take a certain scene or some scenes and actually rewind them, you can actually get a different scene, and a different thing will play, and it'll be the exact same interview, but the characters will be transformed and they'll look different, and they'll look as different characters. And you realize that there's something that if you play the record backwards, you can hear the devil speaking and all this stuff. And a lot of the things that happen throughout the story and the way that it actually revealed the story above the story is really interesting. So again, you have the movies that are as is, then you have the behind the scenes of the actress, and then you have the above the scenes of that, where the game is telling the story of what's really going on. And so you have all these different narratives interacting, and it's actually really exciting as a point-and-click adventure game. And I remember I just sat down for half an hour, just was extremely puzzled, what is this game? Is this even a game, or is this a series of movies and whatever? And I was just so utterly confused but curious, and I kept going, and I'm so glad I did, because there is actually a very interesting story to tell here. I've never seen something being told with multiple layers of narrative interacting with each other. It's really, really interesting, and again, really, really well done. And I absolutely love it. And again, there are certain scenes where if you fast forward them, they'll be different. If you rewind them, they'll be different. And you get new dialogue and new hidden scenes. And that's just really wild. And so the whole part of Immortality is, you see this actress, you see throughout the ages, and you realize that she doesn't really age. And there's a reason for that, because there's something supernatural going on in the background. And I love that, where it's not just, there's a conspiracy that she's selling drugs on the side or something boring like that, but there's something actually supernatural occurring, and you really need to read between the lines of what the characters are saying and their actions and see what's really going on. And there's so many different and interesting conflicts and cadences and a bunch of other things that are just so very crazy. And then certain characters will like they'll have different scenes where they will essentially like it'll be the exact same scene, but it'll be the opposite, and they'll be the ones being tortured or something, and you find these weird hidden things. It's honestly one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Again, something I just sat there, you know, puzzled and curious by, and just playing through the whole thing, realizing, oh my god, there's actually a game here. There's actually a really interesting narrative that's, again, it's being told in pieces, but you stitch them all together. And I just try to find all the different scenes with like all the vases or all the flowers or something, all the certain characters. And what's really interesting is that when you start clicking on the same character, you do get sometimes, you know, the same kind of scenes over and over again, but eventually you get a new scene with that specific character. If you keep clicking on him or her, you're like, okay, I'm going to investigate this person, and it feels almost like you're going down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. I don't know, it feels really cool. I really actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. Anyway, that's all I really got to say about this one. Immortality is actually a pretty cool, pretty well done game. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.